You'd be shocked how many people make these mistakes every single day. And trust me, even the so-called car guys are guilty of some of these. We're talking stuff that silently wrecks your engine, kills your mileage, and drains your wallet before you even know what's happening. And the worst part? Most drivers don't even realize they're doing it. So before you fry your transmission or blow a gasket over something dumb, let's go through 11 car mistakes only complete idiots make, and how to avoid being one of them. Number 11. Driving with burned out lights. Headlights, tail lights, brake lights. None of them last forever. And yet, plenty of drivers hit the road every day with one or more bulbs already out. Replacing a burned out light is one of the simplest car fixes you'll ever deal with, and most bulbs are cheap. Still, ignoring the problem can lead to far more expensive consequences. You'll usually notice when headlights or high beams go out because you can't see properly at night. Turn signal issues will light up the dashboard, but running lights, brake lights, and rear turn signals are harder to spot on your own. That's why it helps to walk around your car once in a while or ask someone to check while you press the brakes. A burned-out light can get you pulled over or earn you a ticket, but the bigger risk is visibility. If another driver can't see your brake lights, the chances of a rear-end collision go way up. Replacing a bulb takes minutes. Waiting until you get hit or fined is what really costs you. Of course, fixing things the wrong way can cost even more than not fixing them at all, just like the next mistake on this list. Number 10. Sloppy electrical work. Messing with your car's electrical system without knowing what you're doing is asking for trouble. It might seem like a small job, installing a new stereo, rewiring a light, or swapping a fuse, but poor handling can lead to short circuits, damaged components, or even electrical fires. And while the average car battery doesn't carry enough voltage to knock you out cold, it can still bite hard enough to hurt or damage something important. Before touching anything, always disconnect the negative terminal of your car battery. That one step protects your vehicle's sensitive systems and reduces the risk of accidental sparks. Avoid working on wiring with the car running, and be especially cautious with hybrids. These vehicles store high voltage power that can cause serious injury if handled incorrectly. Trying to patch things together without understanding what each wire does can also cause your car's onboard systems to behave erratically. In newer models, even a small wiring mistake can mess with sensors or trip dashboard warnings. Then there are the mistakes that spark up fast, right when you pop the hood and grab the cables. Number 9. Attempting a jump start without really knowing how. Just because jumper cables are in your trunk doesn't mean you're ready to use them. Sure, jump starting seems simple, but there are safety steps you can't skip. First, always park both cars close, but not touching. Turn off the ignition in both vehicles. That includes the dead car. Next, clamp the red cable to the positive terminal of the dead battery, then to the live one. Do the same with black, but for ground, not the dead battery's negative. Use a metal part on the engine block to avoid sparks near the battery. Don't let the clamps touch each other or any metal surface. And don't just keep cranking endlessly if the engine doesn't start. Wait a minute and try again. Finally, once it starts, let it run for at least 15 minutes to recharge. If it doesn't start after a few tries, don't keep pushing it. You may need a new battery or professional help. Know the process now so you're not stuck learning it under pressure. With that said, some dangers don't hit all at once. They creep up under your car, worn down to the thread. Number 8. Assuming bald tires will last a bit longer. Stretching out the life of worn tires might seem like you're saving money, but you're gambling with your safety. Bald tires dramatically reduce your car's ability to grip the road, especially in rain or snow. Hydroplaning becomes far more likely, and stopping distances increase by as much as 50%. That's not a small risk. Even if your tread looks okay, age matters too. Rubber breaks down over time, even without much use. UV rays, heat, and oxygen all degrade the compounds in your tires, causing microscopic cracks that weaken their structure. That's why most manufacturers recommend replacing tires every 6 years, regardless of tread depth. If you bought your car used and don't know how old the tires are, check the dot code on the sidewall. It tells you the week and year they were made. On a related note, keeping good tires won't help much if they're not secured properly in the first place, which brings us to the next common mistake. Number 7. Forgetting to torque the lug nuts. This one sounds minor, but it can go very wrong, very fast. After rotating tires or changing a flat, plenty of drivers just tighten the lug nuts by hand or with whatever wrench came with the car. But unless those nuts are torqued to the manufacturer's recommended specs, you're flirting with disaster. Under-tightened lug nuts can slowly back out while driving, and your wheel could eventually detach from the hub. That's not just dangerous, it's deadly. On the flip side, over-tightening the nuts can be just as bad. Too much force stresses the wheel studs, which may crack or snap entirely after repeated heat cycles, bumps, and braking force. Use a torque wrench every time. It's the only way to apply the correct amount of pressure and avoid guessing. The proper torque setting is listed in your owner's manual, usually between 80 to 100 pound-foot, depending on the car. That kind of precision matters just as much a few inches away, especially when you're working on your brakes. Number 6. Sloppy lube. Job. During brake repair, brakes are one area where sloppiness simply isn't an option. They're not particularly hard to repair, but they demand precision. And the biggest mistake amateurs make is misusing or misplacing brake grease during reassembly. Your car's braking system relies on controlled friction between the brake pads and the rotor. That's how your wheels slow down. But to keep that friction focused in the right places, certain components, like the slide pins, caliper contact points, and pad backing plates, need a light coat of brake-specific lubricant. Not engine grease, not axle grease, definitely not WD-40. The wrong product, or too much of it, can gum up components or even cause parts to seize. Brake grease should be applied sparingly and only where it belongs. Think of it less like slathering butter on toast and more like applying ointment with a cotton swab. Clean everything thoroughly, use the correct lube, and double-check your work. With brakes, even small slip-ups have big consequences. The same kind of inattention can do just as much damage when it comes to what's flowing inside your car. Number 5. Forgetting to replace drained fluids. Fluids are the lifeblood of your car. Still, people often treat them like an afterthought until something goes horribly wrong. Sure, you know gasoline is essential, but it's not the only liquid keeping your vehicle alive. Oil keeps engine parts from grinding into scrap. Transmission fluid allows your gears to shift smoothly. Brake fluid helps your car stop. And coolant keeps the engine from turning into a kettle on wheels. If any of these run dry or low, you're looking at expensive repairs or complete breakdowns. You've probably heard a horror story about someone getting an oil change, driving off, and their engine seizing because the tech forgot to refill it. That kind of mistake can happen in your own garage too. If you're changing fluids yourself, don't rush. Check twice, then check again. And even if a shop does it for you, glance at the dipstick or reservoir when you get home. A quick check now can prevent thousands in damage later. Fueling up seems foolproof until a simple choice at the pump quietly starts working against your engine. Number 4. Using the wrong fuel. Plenty of drivers treat the gas pump like a buffet, premium one day, regular the next, thinking it doesn't really matter. But it does, and not always the way people assume. If your car's manual recommends premium fuel, that means the engine was designed for higher octane combustion. Using regular in a premium recommended engine can reduce performance and efficiency. On the other hand, if your car is designed to run on regular, filling it with premium won't do any favors either. It won't boost horsepower, clean the engine, or improve mileage. That's just a myth that keeps costing drivers more at the pump. Octane rating is about preventing knocking in high-compression engines, not about quality. Using the wrong fuel consistently won't blow your engine overnight, but it does interfere with how the system was tuned to run. It's an unnecessary risk that adds up over time. So take a few seconds to check the fuel requirements in your owner's manual. It's the cheapest way to avoid burning money and performance at the same time. Still, nothing drains a car or your wallet faster than pretending warning lights don't mean anything. Number 3. Ignoring warning lights. Dashboard warning lights are easy to overlook, especially if one's been glowing for months without causing problems. Many drivers get used to the illuminated check engine light or assume that a blinking icon means deal with it later. The reality is, these alerts exist for a reason. Some indicate low tire pressure or worn brake pads. Others flag more serious issues like overheating or transmission trouble. Ignoring them doesn't make the problem go away. It makes it worse. Even if the car seems fine, small issues can spiral into big ones if not addressed promptly. A misfiring engine might still run today, but could lead to a failed catalytic converter tomorrow. That means instead of a $50 repair, you're now facing a $1,000 bill. It's not just about money either. Some warning lights signal safety concerns that could put you and others at risk on the road. You don't need to panic every time a light comes on, but you do need to investigate. Read your manual, scan for codes if you can, and visit a shop when needed. Now, some disasters don't need a warning light, just one skip twist of the wrist. Number 2. Forgetting to tighten the oil filter. Changing your oil at home is great, until you forget one crucial step that could ruin your entire engine. One of the most common DIY car mistakes is not tightening the oil filter properly. It may sound minor, but a loose filter can lead to rapid oil loss. And with no oil circulating, your engine becomes a ticking time bomb. After hand tightening the new filter, it's essential to finish the job with a proper filter wrench. That last half turn with the wrench ensures a secure seal. Without it, oil can leak out fast, either slowly dripping over time or gushing out the second the engine heats up and pressure builds. Either way, you're risking a seized engine, or worse, an underhood fire. Not all filters fit the same wrench, especially if you've switched brands. So always check that the wrench fits snugly before starting the job. But not every threat comes from your own toolbox. Some are baked into the car before you even bought it. Number 1. Ignoring safety recalls. When it comes to recalls, ignoring them is downright dangerous. Whether the issue is exploding airbags, faulty brakes, or fuel system leaks, these aren't optional upgrades. They're critical safety fixes. Yet thousands of drivers still overlook them, assuming it's no big deal if their car seems fine on the surface. But the reality is that some defects don't show up until it's too late. You might be cruising at highway speed when the failure happens. Recalls are issued because the problem has occurred in enough vehicles to raise a red flag, usually after someone has been injured or worse. Fortunately, finding out if your car has an open recall is easy. Just visit the NHTSA's website or call your dealership with your VIN repairs covered by safety recalls are almost always free of charge, even for used cars. And if you've already paid to fix an issue that's later recalled, you may qualify for a refund. Ever caught someone else making these mistakes and didn't know how to tell them? Now you've got the facts to back it up. Don't keep this to yourself. Share it with a fellow driver, hit like if you learned something new, and subscribe for more smart, practical car tips coming your way.